In previous module, we studied about root and stem. In this module, we will study about leaf, flower and fruits. Children, though leaves of different plants are different, they have some common features. Okay, like leaf base. Let us see what is leaf base. The portion of the leaf attached to the stem is called leaf base. Again I repeat, the portion of the leaf attached to the stem is called leaf base. Next is stipule. Small leaf-like structures may be present near the leaf base which are called stipules. Again I repeat, small leaf-like structures, okay, present near the leaf base are called stipules. Next is petiole. Leaves of some plants have a stalk called a petiole. Next is leaf blade. The broad spread out part of the leaf is called leaf blade. Again I repeat, the broad spread out part of the leaf is called leaf blade. And its edge is called leaf margin. Okay. Next is leaf apex. The tip of the leaf is called leaf apex. Next is midvein. Midvein is a main or central vein of the leaf. Okay children, as it is in the center, it is called as a midvein. And next is vein. Vein provides support for the leaf. Okay. Now, let us see the types of leaves. Leaves are of two types, simple leaves and compound leaves. Let us see what do they mean. Leaves of some plants have a single undivided leaf blade and a single midrib. Such leaves are called simple leaves. Again I repeat, leaves of some plants have a single undivided leaf blade and single midrib. They are known as simple leaves. Let us see the examples. Leaves of guava, leaves of mango and leaves of eucalyptus are the examples of simple leaves. Okay. Let us see compound leaves. The leaf blade of leaves in some plants is divided into many small parts called leaflets. Such leaves are called compound leaves. Okay children, let us see again. The leaf blade of leaves in some plants is divided into many small parts called leaflets, small leaves. As you can see here, example of shame plant, which is also called as a mimosa plant or touch me not. Okay, small parts called leaflets. Okay, these are called as a compound leaves. Let us see more examples. Leaves of neem, leaves of coriander are the examples of compound leaves. Now let us differentiate between the simple leaves and compound leaves. The leaf in which the leaf blade or lamina is undivided into lobes is called simple leaf, and the arrangement of such leaves are in acropetal succession. What do you mean by acropetal succession? Acropetal succession means new or young leaves will be on the top and old leaves will be at bottom. Again I repeat, acropetal succession means new or young leaves will be on the top and old leaves will be at the bottom. And what are compound leaves? The leaf which properly show the division of leaf blade or lamina into leaflets is called compound leaves. And here children, these leaves do not make acropetal succession. Okay, arrangement of the leaflets. Next, simple leaves have single blades. And here compound leaves have smaller and separate leaf blades called leaflets. The base of the leaf contains stipules, and here the stipules are found at the base of the leaf, but other additional structures are absent. So these are the differences between simple leaves and compound leaves. Now let us move to the next part of our module, that is flower. Children, flowers are very pretty. Yes or no? Flowers are the most beautiful and prettiest part of any plant. They are colorful, attractive, and when you look at them, you become happy. We feel happy whenever we look at the flowers. Okay? Children, flowers are the reproductive part of the plant. Okay? They are not only involved in reproduction but also a source of plant for food for other living organisms. Okay, they are the rich source of nectar. Okay, flower is very important because from flower we get new plants. Okay, now children, let us see the parts of the flower. Children, if you see this flower, this green part like a stem, it is called as a pedicel, and this white part which is within or inside the flower is called as a ovary. Next is sepal, these leaf-like structures. Okay, this is corolla, this is petals, these are filament, this is style, and these are stigma, and these are anther. So these are the parts of flower. We will see one by one what are the functions of these. Okay. Now children, if you see here, the flower is shown to you. A flower is made up of 4 concentric whorls: the calyx, the corolla, the androecium, and the gynoecium. The calyx is the outermost whorl and is made up of leaf-like structures called sepals. The next floral whorl, the corolla, is made up of familiar, colorful, delicate structures called petals. Okay, in this layer that attracts insects. Okay, next the plant male reproductive part is androecium, which is comprised of stamen. Each stamen is a thin long filament on which the anthers are present. These anthers contain pollen. As they mature, they split open and release pollen grains. Next is gynoecium, is a flower female reproductive organ. This organ contains swollen ovary at the base, a long tubular structure known as style, and sticky tip called stigma. Okay, these were the parts of the flower. Children, let us move to the vegetative parts of the flower. What do you mean by vegetative parts? Children, vegetative parts of the flower means those parts which are not involved in reproduction. Okay, first is petals. These are bright colored parts that attract insects, bees. Color of petals varies from plant to plant. Some are bright while some are pale colored. Okay, next is sepal. Sepal is a green colored part, as we saw now, beneath the petals to protect rising birds. Next is pedicel. Flowers may have a long or a short stalk called pedicel. Let us see the reproductive parts of the flower, which we just saw now in the video. Ovary, it's a ductless reproductive gland that holds a lot of ovules. It is a part of the plant where seed formation takes place. Next is style. It is a long tube-like slender stalk that connects stigma and the ovary. Stigma, it is a topmost part or receptive tip of the carpel in the gynoecium of the flower. Anther is a yellowish sac-like structure involved in producing and storing the pollens. Filament is a slender thread-like object which functions by supporting the anther. Okay, children? Next is calyx. In a bud condition, the petals are covered by leaf-like parts are called sepals which are green in color. They form the calyx. Okay, corolla. This is made up of colorful parts called petals. You observe the shape, color and smell of the corolla of various flowers like rose, hibiscus or any of the flower which you like. Can observe their petals. Okay. Next is androecium. This is a male reproductive part of the flower. It consists of stamen. Each stamen is made up of anther and filament. Again I repeat. Androecium is a male reproductive part of the flower. Okay. It consists of stamens. And each stamen is made up of anther and filament. Next is gynoecium. This is a female reproductive part of the flower. This is made up of carpels and a carpel consists of style, stigma and ovary. Again I repeat, gynoecium is a female reproductive part of the flower. It is made up of carpels. Okay, and a carpel consists of stigma, style and ovary. Children, let us move how the plants or the flowers reproduce. In that first concept is what is pollination. Let us observe. Okay. Children, pollination is a process by which pollen is transferred from the anther, that is male part of the stigma, which is a female part of the plant, thereby enabling the fertilization and reproduction enter. Okay, now let's see how pollination occur or how pollens reach stigma. Before that, again I will tell what do you mean by pollination. Pollination is a process by which pollen is transferred from anther to stigma. Okay, you can see this arrow. Okay, these are being carried to the stigma. Okay, and this process is called as a pollination. Let us see how do the pollens reach the stigma. In that two types of pollination we will see, children. The transfer of pollen grains from stamen to the stigma of the same flower is known as self-pollination. Okay. The transfer of pollen grains from the stamen of one flower to the stigma of another plant within the same species is known as cross-pollination. In flowers such as beans and tomato, pollination usually does not require pollinators or agents of pollination. Okay. Cross-pollination on the other hand require pollinators such as honeybee. When these little pollinators land on the sunflower to gather nectar, its legs will be dusted with pollen grains. As the bee travels to the another flower, it will leave behind some of the pollen when it stops, and this will be collected by the stigma. Eventually, the male pollen will unite with female ovule during fertilization and the ovule will become the seed. Besides, insects, wind, water and other animals such as bats also help in cross-pollination. So these were the types of pollination. Again I repeat, The transfer of pollen grains from stamen to the stigma of the same flower is called self-pollination. And the transfer of pollen grains from the stamen of one flower to the stigma of another plant within the same species is called cross-pollination. Okay, children?